So one of my favorite things about Half-Life 2 is the very mysterious and dark beta that we never really got. However, today that all changes, at least, well, for the weapons, because this is the Half-Life 2 Beta, Raising the Bar, Redux Weapons Pack. Now obviously I'm not going to put all that over the screen, but you'll get the gist of it. The bottom line is, someone took the ideas for some of the original Half-Life 2 beta weapons, like the Annabelle here, which did make the final game, but we don't get to use it. However, I have always wanted to do this. Why didn't you come with us, Grigory? Why did you stay? So what is Raising the Bar? Well, it was a book that had a slew of awesome information on both Half-Life and Half-Life 2, and some of the cut content that never really made, well, the cut. And a lot of these weapons were from that, but this specific pack is from a mod that is all about trying to recreate that said content, and well, they did a bang-up job, because I am really impressed with all these models. Let's go one by one over all these weapons. We're also on a beta version of the Canals map from Half-Life 2. I thought that was really fitting. Looks quite different from what I remember. Well, I don't know if it's Canals specifically, but some kind of outside map that resembles Canals. Anyway, we do have the Python first. Now, we can compare this to the actual original, the Magnum. You can see it doesn't look all that different. It's called the Python though. Love that name a lot better. Now the thing about these guns that I absolutely love is they sound great. But the reload animations, ho ho ho, boy do they reload. However, if you do try to reload and you're already full, check this out. Very Call of Duty style, we can admire our weapons in all their glory. Next up we have the AKM. Now this is an interesting choice. Hold up now. Was the AKM meant to be in Half-Life 2? I know this sounds kind of dumb because I think I've even done a Half-Life 2 beta weapon pack before and it had the AKM in it, but I never really looked into it. That would have been really cool to have over the, well, MP7 ripoff we had. Now all jokes aside, it's a pretty cool gun. And it sounds like an AK. Now, I'm not going to do some comprehensive numbers or anything like that. I'm pretty sure shooting the NPCs, or in this case Odessas, should suffice in letting you know everything that you want to know about the gun. Now, there is not aim down sights, because, I mean, come on. It's Half-Life 2 Beta. The reload looks pretty cool, very AK-like. Admiring the weapon, again, I love these features. It really lets you enjoy the weapon's design ever so more. Next up, we have a very exciting one. We have Alex's gun. I have always wanted to use Alex's gun, and this is not the first time we've used it on this channel. It was a very long time though the last time we did use it. Oh my god, the years they fly by. But comparing side to side, wait, Alex, where's your gun? I do have default weapons on. I guess for some reason in Garry's mod, Alex doesn't use her own weapon, which is a little strange, but we could see that it's that same broken machine pistol that we all wanted. I love how lifelike these animations are. Seriously, good job to the dev team of the mod. Annabelle! Oh yeah, we already did see this a little bit. I love the break action style. Super badass. And in terms of reload, hey, guess what? We reload from the side. What about admiring the weapon though? Well, it lets me do it. Is this the only weapon that we cannot admire? Next up, we have the crowbar. And, I mean, can you get more iconic than this red bent up metal bar? Let's go to the regular crowbar. You can see it's a lot smaller, more sleek. This one is kind of like a perfect mixture between the Half-Life 1 and the Half-Life 2 crowbar, which makes sense considering the beta. Now I do want to preface, guys, that these weapon models are not directly from the beta. Obviously they did not look this good back then. In terms of checking it out, we can really get a good look at this immaculate and iconic crowbar. Flare gun. This thing went through a lot of different iterations. I remember it being the original AR2. Can you imagine this complicated looking device shooting flares? It makes sense because the cartridges, they look like flares. So it's interesting how they just kind of turned it into a machine gun. Alright, but with the flare you could do one thing, and that is shoot a flare. Now I like how dramatic it looks. We don't have any other flares, we can go ahead and fix that. I can see why they didn't add this. I mean, why do you need a flare gun in Half-Life 2? Regardless, it looks pretty cool. Maybe you could call in reinforcements, although it looks pretty damn fire right here. Ow. Except we have the frag grenade. I like the more rudimentary design. Very, bulbous is the word that I'm gonna pick for today. Let's go ahead and throw it out, and we can see, despite the animation looking different, it's, well, pretty much the Half-Life 2 grenade, although I love the new explosion effect. Now we get into a very interesting one. We have the XM29. This is an iconic rifle. I would always see this on the mod page when I would play Garry's mod back in like 2013. I'm old, guys, I don't know what to tell you. But it acts kind of like a DMR. You can see it shoots single fire, but you can also go full auto when you don't zoom down your sights. Now I know I said you cannot aim down sights, but this weapon is special because it's kind of like a semi-sniper. Again, DMR if you will. And I really do wish we got to use this thing in Half-Life 2, although then again it would probably replace the AR2, and I love my AR2. So next up we have the standard pistol. In terms of models, I think I actually prefer the Half-Life 2 model, even over this new Redux one. But in terms of reload, looks pretty good. Checking out the weapon, it wants to work sometimes. There we go, look at that. Spaz 12. If you guys don't like my humor, I do apologize. It's pretty dry, and I don't know how to make people laugh. But hey, people watch my videos somehow. Now this definitely is pretty indicative of the original Spaz. If you go ahead and go to it, check that out. The view model is ever so slightly more centered. In terms of damage, we can see it feels good. It feels really powerful. Let's go ahead and right-click. Odessa, stay away from me, please. Interestingly enough, we don't have the double barrel shot, which I know is funny because the bottom barrel is meant to load the shells in, not to shoot, but someone at Valve didn't get the memo. Right-click instead is going to be like a rapid fire. As you can see, left-click, we gotta pull it back every time, but right-click, we can go buck wild. Here we have the SMG. Definitely looks quite a bit different. Very beefy. I love the bikini rails. Looks pretty damn military-like. Now, in terms of checking it out, we can smudge up the holographic sight, because why not? Damage, though, I don't know. I think I prefer the original MP7. We also don't seem to have the grenade launcher attachment, unless you have to equip that, but I wouldn't know how to do that. Just kidding, we got some SMG grenades right here. Let's go ahead and pick them up. And right click and middle click do nothing. Alright, time to really bring out the big guns. We have the steam bow. I imagine this was going to be the crossbow, and all I gotta say is, why didn't we get this? I think this looks absolutely amazing. Now again, it was probably not gonna look anywhere near as pretty as this, just because, you know, again, the mod team did a great job at these models. The reload looks so cool. You can do a few things. You can press left click to shoot out, I assume, a harpoon, or I guess we'll call it a bolt for continuity's sake. And it feels punchy. Just absolutely adore it. Put in some more bolts. The right click, however, we can supercharge it. You can see the 3 giant capacitors over there. I assume that's what they are. And we can launch an electrified bolt, which is badass. The best thing about this is you don't even have to be super accurate. You can shoot anywhere, and if they're within that massive field, they're gonna feel some tremendous pain. Next up, we have the stun baton. Another classic. We obviously didn't really get to use it in the base game, but there's more than one way to get a weapon you're not supposed to have. Here we can see exactly what it looks like. It uses the same animation as the, well, crowbar, but with a bit more of an electrified feel. But the stun baton, this thing is beefy. Now the thing that I do really like about this is, not only can you whack people with it, the animation feels good, looks good, but if you go ahead and right click, you can charge it to do a charge attack and really lay it on them. And last up, we have the Tau Cannon, guys. One of my favorite weapons from Half-Life 1 was set to make a return in Half-Life 2. Unfortunately, we never really got it back. Well, we did, but not in our hands. In terms of damage, I mean, the effects look so cool. I love the little sparks that they leave behind on the ground. That is so awesome. And of course, just like in Half-Life 1, you could charge it up and really let it loose. And yes, you can even do a Tau jump with it. In terms of reload, well, hey, guess what? It's an energy weapon. You don't need to reload it. But I love the interactions. Really cool. I like the fan on the back, just that rustic industrial look. If you guys couldn't tell, I am a huge fan of this weapon pack. Anything relating to the Half-Life 2 beta, I absolutely adore, and this really scratched that itch that I was having. I may even have to do a full-blown walkthrough of the actual mod. Let me know if you guys want to see that one day. And there you have it. So definitely an interesting weapon pack. Honestly, just kind of makes me wonder, what could have been if only things would have panned out differently. But as always, if you guys do like the video and you want to leave a like and subscribe, links are down below. I want to thank you all so much for watching this until the end. Use code NecrosVideos to save 20% off your next G Fuel order. If you want to suggest anything, check out my Discord, and until next time guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, farewell.